All right, everybody, welcome back to CSP. I have a really awesome guest. I have Betty Page, who is a bunny babe at the world-famous Bunny Ranch.
Hi.
Hi, Betty. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and talking to me. I have a bunch of questions here for you.
Oh, definitely. My pleasure.
I'm sure that a lot of people usually want to ask you questions because you have a really interesting job, so...
Absolutely. It's one of the best in the world.
All right. Well, let's just jump right into it with that. First of all, I want to know, how did you end up working for the Bunny Ranch? How does that work?
Oh, my God. It was so funny. Okay. Well, before the Bunny Ranch, I was just dancing in some clubs, and it was really a lot of fun because I enjoy dancing. And I was at home one night watching Cat House, and I usually don't watch TV, but you got to watch the HBO Cat House, and there was some woman popping balloons with her butt. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can so pop a balloon with my ass. Yeah, fuck yeah. So I went online, and I did some research, and I went to a couple of sites with the brothels and posted up my picture. And I was like, they're never going to hire me. So I went through all the steps, posted my picture. Next thing you know, I was like, no way. They wrote back, they're like, we think you're beautiful. We think you'll do great. Come on down. I was like, oh, fuck no. So I boarded a plane. I was like, you only live once. I went out and tried it, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And happily ever after.
Oh, wow, that's great. I mean, somebody that's in the entertainment, adult business, that's almost that's like the major leagues, you know?
Yes, it was awesome. I can't believe that I got chosen. And a lot of girls, they always ask, how do I become a bunny babe? How do I do it? And they don't believe that you just submit your pictures and you go on the website, and it's really as easy as that. They really are very selective when they pick somebody, so to be chosen is like a huge honor.
Well, how long have you been there at this point?
Well, at the Bunny Ranch, I'm actually a new bunny babe. Mommy, which is Madame Suzette, I call her Mommy because she is so like a mother figure, but she calls me a bunny babe. Not a bunny babe, a baby bunny, sorry. She calls me a baby bunny because I've only been here for, I think it's a month and a week now, actually. So I'm pretty new for being an actual bunny. Last year, I came here to one of Dennis Hoff's, I call him Big Daddy, to his Love Ranch North. And I spent a couple months over there, which was fun. He owned several brothels. So I went to that one and was a whole lot of fun. But honestly, to be at the Bunny Ranch now is huge. It's major leagues. It's really awesome.
Just you mentioning Madame Suzette, I've seen her on the Cat House show because, as a 25-year-old dude, of course, I've watched the show on HBO. I don't have HBO right now, but I've caught it, on a free weekend or whatever. But she seems just like a really sweet person.
She is amazing. Talk about a lady among ladies. When she says it's all about the pearls, damn right. It fits her so much. She has class, she has style, and she really does guide us. She helps us with any problems we have. She's there for us. She works way too hard.
There are several bunny ranches at this point, or?
There are. There's a lot. There's 6. I keep losing count because Big Daddy keeps buying more. And it's funny because everybody's like, the economy's bad. And for us and for him, it's booming. I think it's because the way he runs it. He doesn't run it like some of the other ones do, where it's like a lockdown house or a prison. He lets people have freedom. We can come and go as we please. We're trusted. We have all of our electronics on us. We're treated like people. And we're actually treated very, very well, as a matter of fact. We get the red carpet treatment all the time. We go out to eat together in limos. And we'll just go down to a local restaurant and stuff like Ming's or something and have some awesome Chinese food and come home. And it's great. I mean, we even refer to the Bunny Ranch as home.
Wow, that's awesome. How often is Dennis around? Like, I would assume that he's got to go to all the different locations. How often do you see him, like, at the Bunny Ranch?
Oh, he travels quite often, but he actually lives here at the Bunny Ranch also. So it's really nice, and he's so approachable. People love to meet him. If you ever have a question or you even just want to shake his hand, it's so awesome. Oftentimes you'll find him in the parlor with all of us, just hanging out and having a good time because it's always like a party here. And then he'll go into the back where the pool is that we all use, and he lives right in the back of there. But he has several houses, so he house hops a lot too.
He does seem like just a really like down to earth, cool guy. I mean, I've heard him on the Stern Show. I'm a huge Howard Stern fan, and I've heard him on a couple different appearances there. But he just seems like a really like easygoing dude.
Oh, he is. He is. He has one major rule, and that's pretty much it. And it's basically no assholes.
No assholes. Does that mean like you can't be an asshole, or you can't like play with an asshole? What does that mean?
No, playing with him usually makes you not an asshole.
Okay.
So.
I just had to double check on that. I could just see him saying, "Remember, girls, no asshole. No asshole play."
Oh, no, definitely. A lot of times you'll even hear some of us girls saying, I need to practice. I need to stretch myself out a little bit. It's too tight.
I bet that can be kind of a scary thing for a girl, really, just thinking about it. That's got to be terrifying sometimes.
I don't think so for a lot of us. There are some girls that do some things and some that don't, will do other things. Actually, in our field, a lot of us, like myself, are nymphomaniacs. So there's really nothing that's taboo or scary because we're really curious people. So it's like, if you can think it, let's give it a try.
Well, that brings me to another question I had. What's one of like the craziest, like kinkiest things you've been asked to do? What's like the first thing that comes to mind?
Let me see. It's kind of funny that you say that because there's really not too much that's kinky to me. It's a really funny concept because what's kinky to one person won't be kinky to another person. And everybody seems to have a fetish. No matter what it is, no matter how small or minute, everybody's got one. Some people have foot fetishes. Some people want a pee party fetish. I've had one person that they had a teacher who they were in love with growing up, and I reminded them of that teacher. So at a party where I played the role of that teacher. But like, even for example, I'll talk about my kinkiest thing, my fetish, and I don't really share this a whole lot, so this is like breaking news.
Cool.
I have a furry fetish.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Actually, one of my fantasies is for, okay, I really liked the Care Bears growing up. So I would love a guy to dress up in like the bear mascot costume with a little hole right there and just do the hell out of me.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a preference of what Care Bear they are? Does that matter?
Not really. No, I mean, I've even Amazoned or looked up some of these costumes, and I like the white one or the light brown one. And you don't even have to have like an authentic Care Bear. Just do the bear mascot, and I am all over it. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, honey, come on, let's go. I want to snuggle.
Have you ever brought this up to any of the customers to see if they were down with it, or?
I actually have to one so far, just one. That's it. But yeah, you're basically like number two. So. Oh,
I'll have to remember that. I'll have to order a furry costume.
Sweet. I'm coming over.
Yes. Have you ever looked into like any of the conventions or anything like that, like the furry con? Because it's a big deal.
I haven't actually, but it's funny. Next month I'm doing an appearance at FetCon because I like all kinds of role playing, even like the fetish, S&M, BDSM, And especially with, being Betty Page, it's a bit of a niche also. So the only one that I'm actually doing is next month over in Florida. I'm going to be doing an appearance with Kinky Katie's radio show also. So I'm going to be her guest and then go down to FetCon, and I'll be a special guest of them this year, and also they're going to be featuring me next year.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Are you doing, so in Florida, whenever you go to this FetCon, is it going to be kind of like a live show on location?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah, absolutely.
That's really exciting, man. You do a lot of traveling. You're like living the dream. You're just going all over the place.
Well, I figure you only live this life once. Everybody that I've ever known is always like, oh, I wish I can go here. I wish I can go there. And my motto is, well, why not? What's stopping you?
That's the way to do it. I mean, that's a really open-minded view of it. That's I wish I could be like that, to be honest with you.
It's easy. If you got wheels and a key, go for it. You don't even need to hop a plane. Just hop in your car and drive. I love it.
Well, before we get any further with any questions here, we are going to have a contest that you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
So let's explain some of the rules for any of the listeners.
Definitely. Basically, I've got two little tidbits about myself that I'll share. And if you can tweet them to me at Betty Page XXX is my Twitter. And if you're one of the first ones, I have autographed panties, or I even have autographed Bunny Ranch hats. And it's your choice. You can private message me and give me your info so I can mail it off to you personally. And that's about it. Just let me know, and if you're a fan of mine, then you definitely deserve this stuff. Hell, I might even give you one of each.
Okay, tweeting now. I have a really huge advantage here because this hasn't gone out yet, so I'm going to be the first one to do it. I'm just kidding.
Yours are already in the mail anyway.
Oh, sweet. All right, cool. Then I can control myself and let somebody else have a chance.
Definitely.
I also just kind of wanted to know, have you ever had anybody that was like, I guess you could say maybe a stalker, but just sort of like overly eager to just see everything you're doing at all times?
Yes. Do you remember when stalkers used to be called secret admirers? It's crazy. It's like, oh, I really care about you. Okay, just keep your distance. But I have once, and believe it or not, it was even before I got started in the business, before I was an official BunnyBabe with Betty Page. I had a stalker, and it was when I was dancing, and this guy would just, make runs around my house and everything, and wherever I was, he would just, very conveniently show up, and it didn't last too long, but it was kind of creepy, and it was weird, though. At the same time, it was really flattering. Not that I'm encouraging it, but...
I can see what you're saying. It would be kind of flattering. At the same time, you want to just be like, okay, now leave me alone, but...
Yeah, as long as you don't leave, horse heads in my bed, we're good.
Yeah. It's funny, hot girls they're all like celebrities. Like even if like you said you hadn't worked at the Bunny Ranch, you were dancing, but just because you're a hot chick, like somebody can still stalk you. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you so much for thinking I'm a hot chick. I'm very humble myself, and I'm always like, I'm okay. And even the bartender over here, he's like, I don't want professional tits. I want to see some layman tits for a change. And I'm like, you fucker. But yeah, I always think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if somebody is just drop dead gorgeous to you, I don't care if they weigh like 90 pounds or 400 pounds, or if they're tall or short, black, white. It's really a matter of just preference. I think when people are beautiful, they start out from the inside, and you can really see that on the outside, and it shows.
Yeah, almost like a type of confidence that one would have.
Yeah, you can see sort of like the life inside them and the happiness that they have just with being alive and themselves. And we all have insecurities. I don't care who you are and what you look like. All of us see something within ourselves that we don't like or we want to fix. And while other people look at us and think, oh my God, you're perfect. So it's really cool that we see each other for who we are, and the beauty shines really from inside.
I couldn't agree more. That's really well said, actually.
Thanks.
So what do you do for fun whenever you're not at work?
Masturbate.
Really? You don't ever get kind of just worn down and not even feel like doing anything sexually after work? You still are completely into it? Actually,
it's funny. I'll share another little secret with you. After I get off at work at night, no matter how late it is, usually I end the night with masturbating. I love sex. I'm a bit of an nymphomaniac. I was diagnosed years ago by a professional, and she's like, you're actually a nymphomaniac, and if you keep coming to me, I can help you. And I was thinking to myself, well, I don't really need help with this, but thank you very much. So I never really went back. But I love, feeling good and touching and the whole body and everything. But yeah, I that's how I end my nights is, some of the girls, they do the same thing. They'll take a warm bath and masturbate, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm grabbing my vibrator, my Lilo, and I go at it. It's like, fuck yeah, and I watch my pirate porn, or I even have DC comic porn because I'm a total geek, and yeah, I love it. So.
Well, that's cool to hear that you're really into your business. I mean, it's not so much a job for you. It's really the best place you could be. Then it sounds like.
It is. It is. I really like what I do because I like touching other people. I like to make other people feel good, and I like to feel good with other people. I kind of look at it as a form of physical therapy, and it's not so much just doing something dirty. It's doing something natural that we all need to survive, and that's just intimate touch. But to answer your other question too, if I'm not masturbating, a lot of what I like to do is actually go out to the movies. I'm a big movie buff. I don't really watch TV a whole lot. I'm not a TV person, but I love movies.
What was the last movie you went and saw?
Oh, it was actually, I went by myself, which I do once in a while, because it's really cool because you're incognito and you go by yourself and you don't have to worry about anybody being loud next to you at the movie theater. And so I went out one night and snuck out, and I went to go see the second Planet of the Apes ones. That movie?
Oh, yeah, the new one that just came out?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I forgot the whole name of it, but...
Isn't it, well, it's not Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I think it's Return of the Planet of the Apes or something?
Something like that. It's the second one after the main one, so...
I want to see that movie so bad, by the way.
Oh, my God, it's so good. You have to see it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie in a little while. I've just kind of been whatever comes out on DVD, I check it out. But that movie looks really good.
It's fantastic. The next one on my list is Lucy, because I'm a huge fan of Morgan Freeman. He's like my idol. So I've got to go see that. That's next on my list.
Lucy, I haven't heard of that one. What's that about?
Oh my God, dude! You'll have to see it. It's really cool. It's about this girl, and there's this drug that she happens to take, and all of a sudden she gets these crazy abilities where she can morph matter and everything, and it just keeps getting to be more and more that she can do. And it's crazy. It's so cool. And in the background, you hear, of course, Morgan Freeman narrating, which is end all be all. It's if he's talking, everybody shuts up and gets wet. It's awesome.
Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah, I just refer to that as Scarlett Johansson movie.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
I would have known exactly which one you were talking about.
Right? Yeah, I am dying to see that. It comes out actually tomorrow. I want to see if I can kind of sneak out either tomorrow or the next day and go see that.
That sounds really cool. I can definitely agree with what you're saying about going to see a movie alone, because people in my life have been like, how can you just go see a movie alone? It's like, well, it's going to see a movie isn't really, you don't have to sit there and talk to somebody else. Why wouldn't you go see one alone?
Exactly. Such a good point. And it's kind of like being at home, except your home is really freaking big and your TV is just the size that you wish it was at home. So
exactly.
And it's really relaxing too. It's almost like a day at the spa, but with your eyes.
All right. I wanted to ask you too, like, what are the rules of the Bunny Ranch? And I guess, are there separate rules for the Bunny Babes? And then I'm guessing that, like any customers, they get briefed with rules, but are there separate sets of rules?
Not really. I mean, we're all independent contractors. So we all kind of decide what we're going to do. We make up the rules, but one major rule is no barebacking. There is definitely protection because we're very, very safe. We use condoms all the time, and we're professionals, so we know how to make it feel good with a condom. I've heard so many people be like, well, I can't feel anything, I can't do this, and a lot of people don't know it's because you're using the wrong condom. We have so many condoms, we buy stock. So we know what's going to fit for you and actually how to make it feel good. Plus, we use different kinds. There's different thicknesses, different everything. But we get tested weekly to make sure that we're clean. We have no STDs at all. If we do not work at all. Our bodies are very important. It's our whole business. So we have to make sure that nothing in this world gets spread because we want a happy and healthy world, not just a happy and healthy moment. So we definitely use condoms all the time, no barebacking. And as far as the other rules, like I said, some girls do some things and some do others. And it's really a preference. Like some girls do not kiss. I do. I like being very intimate. But I've even had some clients that don't want to kiss, and I'm completely fine with that. So it's really a preference on the person. That's why beforehand, when you go to negotiate with a girl, you really want to make sure what you want to do and what you don't want to do and really explain about that and be clear, because there's nothing worse than actually getting a party together and not being able to do what you wanted to do, and nobody's happy. And we really, really want everybody to be happy. Yeah,
and going with what you said, I'm sure that you get a lot of people that don't want to use condoms, just like you were explaining. But I mean, to me, it seems like that's, of course you would use condoms all the time, but also that's kind of relieving to somebody like me that if I would come to the Bunny Ranch, it's good to know that nobody's going to be able to go in there and not use a condom. It just kind of makes it, it just kind of makes it feel better,
Right. It's funny because I get a mixed bag. I've gotten some guys where it's like, can we not use the condom? I can't feel it. And it's like, no, sorry, we have to because I don't know where you've been. And you don't know for sure about me. Even though we do get tested weekly, it's that extra security blanket. And as soon as I use it, I've never had a complaint from anybody yet. So we definitely know how to work it with the condom. But I've also had another customer just recently, and it's funny because he was a little paranoid, and he's like, are you going to use a condom? Are you going to use a condom? And I'm like, honey, it's right here. It's out of the package, and it's in my mouth. I'm using the condom. Don't worry.
You had it in your mouth, and he still wasn't sure?
Yes. Well, he had his eyes closed.
Okay. I thought it was like, you're like, well, hold on a second. I always eat a condom before I have sex with somebody. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, we use condoms differently. We ingest them. So. No, I actually have this little technique. And when I put a condom on, see, I have a big oral fixation. And when I give a blowjob to a guy or even go down on a girl, I take my time. I like to kiss around the thighs and around the whole area because to me, it's a major turn on. And one of the best ways I love to put a condom on is with my mouth. Well, it's the fun way to put a condom on, so you're not just like, okay, let's put this on, like you're putting on underwear or a pair of slippers. It's really hot and sexy. Condoms are hot, especially when you have them in different flavors, different colors, different sizes, different thicknesses, and you can play with them. It's really neat.
Well, that brings up another question I had. I mean, going back to what you said about, a lot of people don't like condoms because they're probably not using the right ones. Can you just like look at a guy's dick and decide what type of condom would be best for him?
It depends on if he's hard or not.
Okay.
But for the most part, yeah. It's kind of like fitting a woman for a bra, believe it or not. It really depends the size of what she is to the type of bra that would fit. And you hear women having problems all the time about having the right fitting bra. Well, the same thing with a guy with a condom. It depends on your size, and there are different sized condoms. There's like small, medium, large, and there's even ones in between there people don't really realize. Different brands have different sizes. So now that we are professionals, we've actually did some studies and with ourselves just to buy different condoms and check out the different sizes to see which ones we prefer and which ones we don't, and the different thicknesses too. So if you have a guy that is a little desensitized and has a problem coming with a condom, we could use a certain brand and a certain thickness that they really would have almost no idea that there's a condom on, because you really can feel things. And maybe even use one that's a little tighter, and because it's almost like, well, this may be a little bit out there for some people, but it's almost like having foreskin for a guy that's not circumcised. If you have a condom that's too big, he's not going to have a lot of pleasure from it, because you're rubbing up against the condom and you're not really going to feel the girl, whether it's her mouth, her vagina, her ass, her ear, her nose, her belly button. And so, yeah, you've got to be aware of that too. If you get one that's even a little small for him, he'll have the greatest time in the world.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's my little expertise.
Well, it does. It sounds like you're really an expert at it, and it's it's good to know that whenever you come to the Bunny Ranch and you see Betty Page, like you're in good hands. Like she knows what the best way to go about it is.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's super cool. Well, I have an interesting question here that was sent in from @MiniKiller on Twitter. If you had to have sex with one dead president, of course, while they were alive, who would it be? And let me add one stipulation to that: no JFKs, because I understand that he was a sexy guy. So.
Oh well, I would probably have to do him just to support America, so that doesn't count.
Okay.
And hell, Marilyn's been there, so who doesn't want to be where Marilyn hasn't been?
Exactly.
But no, honestly, I know it's really funny, but Abe Lincoln, just because of the beard. Oh my God. Talk about like tickle torture.
I didn't even think of it that way. I bet, man, he did have a big bushy goatee.
Yes. See, I like a guy that has some hair. I don't mind like a full-grown man with hairy chest or a beard or a mustache. Oh shit, that bitch is like a flavor saver. Hell yeah.
Okay, so you said that you've been at the Bunny Ranch for a month, so that's I'm assuming that it's probably not long enough for you to have appeared on the Cat House show.
No, not yet. We actually have another one coming out really soon. August 15th is the new one. I haven't been on that one either, but I actually did just have an interview with Fox. They're looking at me for a show on their new show coming up in September with the Utopia Show. So they're actually looking to bring a BunnyBabe on their show.
Really? And the Utopia Show, what is that exactly?
Utopia is sort of like, I think about it as like Adam and Eve. It's a new world sort of thing where they're building a new world and a new community, and they're seeing if people can get along and get together and really have this community with each other.
Wow, that sounds really interesting, and that's going to be on like actual like the network of Fox. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And they really wanted somebody here that is really open with sex and wants to bring that into the whole dynamic of the group, since it is a big part of life.
Yeah, that sounds like a super cool show. I would definitely want to tune into that. And you said, when is that? When is did you say that show is it already out, or is it coming out, or?
It's coming out, and it's coming out in September, I think September 9th, I'm not sure. But they're still doing interviews and stuff for it right now, and they came over and they interviewed a couple of us, me included. So I may be doing that. If not, then I did get an invite from the Mayweathers, which are really good friends of mine, to go and see Floyd Jr.'s new fight coming up in September also. And I've also got an invite especially from Big Daddy for his birthday party. So it's like, I'm not sure which one to pick.
Yeah, I'm sure that Dennis has a pretty awesome birthday party, right?
Oh my God, yes, yes. The stars that come here are like countless. It's really fun.
Oh wow, man, that sounds like an awesome place to be.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's like a party every day.
What do you and the other girls kind of do to entertain yourselves when you're not working? I'm sure that you guys, it's like you said, it's just a big party. What are some of the things you guys do?
Well, actually,
This sounds like it's gonna be good.
Well, usually we're supposed to kind of stick to our own rooms and stuff, but late at night, if things are quiet and quieting down, or we're helpful bunnies. We like to help each other, so we'll sneak into each other's room at night and be like, "Let me test this toy on you."
Oh yeah, you got to practice for your job, of course.
Right. There's a couple of girlfriends of mine. We're like, "Hey, let's snuggle." I really get along with like Camille James or Abby May, and we'll just kind of sneak into each other's room. It's like, okay, we're getting ready to go to bed, and we know the routine. So I just got this new Lilo. What do you think? Here, and be like, Buzz.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like a whole scene going on there. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's like Bunny Ranch after hours.
That should be a show on HBO in and of itself.
It should.
Have you ever, I'm guessing that you haven't done porn, but do you have any plans to ever do anything like that?
I don't have plans at the moment. We do have plenty of porn stars that are here too, but if I were asked to do porn and all that, I would want to do Snow White porn so bad. I want to be Snow White so bad and do like 7 dwarves at the same time. That would be so hot.
You really would fit the bill too for a Snow White. Like you could definitely play the part, at least looks wise.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've always had black hair and pale skin with the blue eyes, from birth. I just came out looking goth as hell. So it was funny growing up. All my friends, they were trying to look goth, and I was trying to get a tan. It's like, what's wrong with you? But yeah, I am so Snow White. I'm like, let's do this. That's my princess. Come on.
That would be a pretty cool porn to watch. If there are any porn producers that are listening to this, please put together the Snow White and the 7 dwarfs just so we can see that.
I look up porn about Snow White all the time.
Wow, what a great idea. That would be amazing. Is there ever any drama between the girls at the Bunny Ranch?
You know what? Usually when you work in an industry where you have sex all day long, you're pretty chill. I mean, you're in a house full of women, and there's estrogen flying. So you're going to have something going on at some point, or a misunderstanding. But for the most part, we really communicate really well. And if you do get some people that aren't really, friendly with each other a whole lot, we just kind of stay away from each other, and we try to keep it very like kumbaya, because who wants to fuck in a place where people are just arguing all the time? I mean, seriously, if that was the case, you would still be married to an ex-wife at home fucking all the time.
Oh, exactly.
So no good. And besides, life is too short. So we're pretty chill. And besides, Bunny Ranch After Hours kind of keeps that tone down, too.
Well, and it does just seem like, someone like you or any of the other bunny babes that are there, it does just sound like you have just a better quality of life. I mean, I feel like, you're going to live a longer life because you're not really stressing about a lot of things. You're just kind of doing what you like to do, and you're free sexually, and it just sounds like a better way to live life than to be running back and forth to a 9-to-5 job, and then, all this shit with the kids and soccer games and stupid shit like that.
Right.
It just sounds like you're living a better quality life.
That's the whole point of it, too. I mean, you're absolutely right. For us, we make our own schedule, and, we have to harmonize that also with the office, because we do have people coming back and forth. It's almost like dormitory living, where, you come back, you get a room, you pack up your stuff, you come back, you might get a new room. So we all share everything: rooms, sex, toys. And when you share and you make your own schedule, it's very fulfilling. You don't have to worry about going to work every day on time, dealing with people you don't want to deal with. And especially when you incorporate more sex into your life, you're really introducing more endorphins into your body, releasing more serotonin, and you're just generally happier. And that's also why we're in this business. We want to reach out to other people. We want to make other people feel better, and it's a natural part of life. It's not unnatural. It's not dirty. You need to actually release a lot of those toxins that you have in your body. We're here, and we're meant to be here to actually touch one another, to interact with one another. And touching and interacting, that's a big part of sex. We need love from each other on many different levels. So that's definitely a great way to live. And you're definitely going to expand your lifespan the more that you get off, especially with another person.
And that's why it feels so good, because it's something that we are supposed to do, just, on just like a prehistoric level. I mean, that's just ingrained in our DNA, and it's just a shame that, people have set these rules like it's not a, it's a bad thing to want to do that. I mean, I was lucky enough to have parents that would just like let me watch whatever I wanted to watch on TV. They didn't put any restrictions. So looking at it that way, it's like, I think it would be worse for somebody to see somebody get murdered on TV than it is to see someone have sex.
Exactly. You are so right. I love your parents.
Yeah, me too. They were awesome growing up.
That is so awesome. Yeah, because people will always see violence on TV, and the censors are like, oh, you can watch everybody get killed or beat, or even some instances of rape. But yet, as soon as you see anybody having sex, or, God forbid, even two people of the same sex kissing, oh, no, we can't show signs of affection, but we can show all kinds of hurt and pain and stuff, which is really sad.
Kind of along those same lines, like, do you get any negative feedback or anything like that from people that just don't agree with the way you live your life? And, if so, how do you go about dealing with that type of thing?
I do. Really good question. I really feel bad for people like that. They don't have a really good idea about the business and what it's about. A lot of people just think it's dirty, that a lot of guys are coming here just to cheat and have cheap sex, and it's really not about that at all. We have regulars that come. They're friends of ours. They're dear friends of ours. And we reach out to people, and this is something that they need. We have couples that come that experience a wonderful time, and a lot of times they'll even have their anniversary, which is a beautiful thing. And we've got people from all walks of life, and I really feel bad for people who don't understand it, and they try to look down on me, or, they're very uptight and have different morals, really. And I'm really fine with whatever morals you want to have. If it's not for you, that's fine. But try not to judge other people because they're not as restrictive. I have gone through people that, look down upon me or the business and have opinions. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. So we have to remember that.
That's so true. And, I don't have a problem either. I'm going off of what you said with people, with morals. That's great. Whatever you want to live your life by. The thing I have a problem with is telling other people how to live their life. I get immediately pissed off about that. I just don't want to hear it.
So smart. Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like, live your life the way you want to. I'm going to live my life the way you want to, but we can still be friends. I don't have to judge you for being an uptight prude who doesn't want to ever give sex, and you don't have to judge me for wanting to spread love in the world. So that's fine. Absolutely. Kumbaya, motherfuckers.
I got a couple more questions here. I want to know also if a customer comes in and he wants to have a date with Betty Page, can you turn them down if you kind of just don't feel the chemistry there?
Oh, absolutely. I love it when somebody comes in and wants to have a date with me, and I love going out and having a good time with people because I'll have some people come in and be like, I want to show you off, and it's like, no, honey, I want to show you off. Let's go have a great time. But if there is somebody that comes in and for whatever reason, whether they're being a jerk or honestly there's just no chemistry, we can I don't know, some people before have quoted an astronomical price, $500,000. But I'm honest, and sometimes to a fault. I will straight up tell you, look, I'm not going to take your money. I'm not going to quote you a price because there's just nothing here, or you want to do something that I don't want to do. There's very, very little that I won't do. And I will be honest with the person, and if there's no chemistry or if there's something that we won't do, I'm like, look, I am not going to take your money and give you only halfway of a good time when I can maybe show you to a really good friend of mine and she can give you the experience of a lifetime, because it's all about having fun and having a great experience.
Yeah, and who would want to spend $500,000 on an experience that, both of the people aren't fully into it?
Exactly. It's like all my parties I do, I am into it 100%. I get excited about it. And if I'm not going to be excited, then you know what? I'm not going to take your money, because it's not always just about the money. It's really about having a good time. I don't like the money part of it, to be honest. I hate negotiating. I hate doing it. That's why I usually have my set prices, which, you can only talk about in the room, unfortunately. Those are clauses of the law. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I will let you know straight from the get-go, this is this price for that or this time. And, if we can do stuff and have a great time, that's awesome. But if there's no chemistry, I'm not going to take your money. I want you to have a good time.
And that's customer service right there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I fully, to be able to turn down money like that and just say, listen, it's not going to be the best experience you could have. That's super honest, and that's really cool.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So you said that there's very little things you won't do. Can you get into something that you wouldn't do if somebody brought it up?
Well, one thing I have never done, and I'm always about trying something once, at least once, just to see. But I've never done a poop party.
Yeah, me either. I wouldn't want to.
It's not the top on my list. I have to say I'm not into a sloppy burrito, but
Wait, hold on a second. What exactly is a sloppy burrito?
There's a couple of terminologies. I love this. I educate people all the time. A sloppy burrito is when the woman is lying down and you're on top of her and she's giving you head and he shits on your chest. That's a sloppy burrito. And then there's also the rusty trombone, which is kinky, but it's actually kind of fun. And you're actually giving the guy a rim job while you're cupping his balls and jerking him off. So that's a rusty trombone. And so a couple of little fun facts there. But I have never done any kind of a poop party, giving or receiving. And I'm not sure if I'm up for it or not. I mean, I may try to poop on somebody once if it's something they really, really want to do. But, yeah, if not, we're good. We're good.
And I can really respect your outlook of, try everything at least one time. With me personally, I know that I wouldn't have to try that because it's just something that, I'm personally not going to be into. But that's, it's really brave to even, I got to try it just one time just to see what it's like.
You only live life once. How do you know if you don't like something unless you try it, And I've never done it. So who knows? I may be a poopy connoisseur, but I highly doubt it. So I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I have another question sent in by Boney the Man, and he wants to know if you had to choose between 5 inches and thick or 10 inches and thin, which one would you be more likely to go for?
That's a really good question, Boney. Oh my God. Oh, man. Oh, I don't know.
It's a tough one.
It is, because one's like a super plug and the other one you're a shish kebab. So either way, it's really kind of cool. I guess it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I might go for the thicker one just because I have the marina in, and it's like if it goes too deep, sometimes it pokes a little, which actually sometimes is kind of cool. But I don't know. That's a really hard question. Oh, no pun intended. Oh, that was great.
So, I mean, it sounds like, is penis size important to you? I mean, obviously, whenever you're dealing with customers, you're going to get someone that's not as big as other people. But I'm talking about more on, like, just your everyday life whenever you're outside of work.
Right. Not really, actually. Between toys and tongues and all the other kind of play, it's really how you use the penis because, obviously, I've had experience with all sizes. And I like to get off on all sizes. All of them feel different. They all give a different feel. And it's really how you work it. Like, one of my favorite positions is reverse cowgirl. And I can really judge how deep I want it, how fast I want it, how I'm going to ride, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I love all positions, but that one is really good because you can have somebody big or small. And size doesn't really matter. It's really how you play with your clitoris, how you hit the G-spot, what toys you're using, the connection that you have with the person. If you're really into one another, then it's going to be a good time. I don't care if you're 1 inch or 20 inches. It really doesn't matter.
Well, that's a cool way to look at it. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure that there are smaller guys out there that a lot of times they probably come to the bunny ranch because they're too afraid, to start a relationship or something like that, which is a shame, really.
Well, you actually, believe it or not, you get it on both sides. You get guys that are on the smaller side, and it's funny, a lot of times these guys are really not that small. And even if they are, you don't really have to worry about it. But we also get guys on the other extreme side, which are very large, and they have a hard time being in relationships because sometimes if it's too large, a lot of women, it hurts them and they can't really have a normal relationship with somebody because it's too big.
Yeah, that's a shame. You know, my dick is too big.
You know?
Makes me feel so bad for people.
It's funny to say it, but it is true. It really is. It's funny. Everybody's got a hang up.
My cock is too huge. Wah.
I know. Just ask Ron about that. He will tell you all about it.
Okay. Well, you know, we've pretty much gone through it all. I mean, you've been amazing with, you know, been really forthcoming with all of these answers, and I really appreciate your time that you've given me today.
Oh, no problem. But definitely for the Twitter fans, there's two things I have to say. For the first thing, for the whole Twitter winning contest, which is awesome. I love doing these things. Actually, I wanted to tell people about my perfect date. Because a lot of times people will come in and they'll do out dates, which are the best because you can go and take your time, have the full experience. And mine's pretty simple. Whether it's your place or if it's at a hotel or even if it's going to the movies, my perfect date is actually watching a movie, snuggled up on a couch with bad Chinese food and just relaxing. I mean, I know it's corny as hell, but it's awesome. I love that whole boyfriend-girlfriend experience where your arms are around me, we're snuggled watching a movie, we've got bad Chinese food, and the best part is afterwards, because it's so comfortable, I get really horny when I'm comfortable with a person. So after the movie and the food, I'm like, oh my God, your cock is mine. So I'm like, I'm on that couch, like we're 69 and we're like spooning, we're doing everything we can do after that. So that's one of my perfect dates, is just snuggled up with a movie and bad Chinese food.
That sounds like a perfect date to me as well. And also, I must say, the co-host of this show, who sadly could not be here today, but his name is Ty, I know he has a bit of a crush on you, and I'm sure that after hearing that perfect date, he's probably head over heels in love with you at this point.
Aww. Very, very cool. And to be honest, I'm a major geek too. I love like X-Men, DC Comics, stuff like that. So if we're like watching anything like X-Men with Chinese food, we're going a couple of rounds. I mean, this is just awesome to me.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
And I'm going to be wearing my Wonder Woman underoos the whole time.
Where have you been my whole life?
Bunny Ranch, babe.
Okay, and then I guess in closing, if you could finish this sentence, I want to be the first bunny to...
Oh, I know this is... Okay, yes. You will never hear this again in your life, but this is so true. I want to be the first BunnyBabe to do Bruce Campbell. Oh my God.
No, from Evil Dead.
Yes, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. If you just tell me, give me some sugar, baby, I will fall out. I'll be like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now Ty is probably ready to propose to you at this point.
Very cool. Oh, wait, I almost forgot my other question, because I give 2 chances to win. I love that.
Okay.
And if Ty or anybody wants to give me a present, my perfect present, which I love, is chocolate. But not just any chocolate. I love chocolate it's called Shenandoah Fine Chocolates. And you can usually find it like on my Twitter or my Facebook or anywhere, because these people are awesome. And this lady, she hand dips her stuff, really, really well priced. She knows exactly what I like, so just talk to the owner and tell them, you were sent by Betty Page. And they're over in Virginia, which I actually live in Virginia when I'm not working. So she is so cool, my perfect present. I mean, I even tell people, if they buy me this present, I give you 10% off a party. No lie. And I already have my set prices. which I'm very honest about. So I will give you 10% off a party with just those chocolates.
Oh, right on. I'll have to notate that in case I ever come down to the Bunny Ranch. I'll be sure to bring some chocolates and hope that there's some type of rewards program also that we can get figured out.
Frequent fucker miles.
Exactly.
Definitely.
All right. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming on. I want to let my listeners know how to find you. There are several different ways. You can go to BettyPageXXX.com, find her on Twitter at BettyPageXXX, and then also Facebook.com/BettyPageXX.
That's right. Yep, just 2 X's on the Facebook. It's really funny. They wouldn't let me put the 3rd X. I'm like, bastards.
Oh, I guess Facebook is, they don't want to have anything related to sex on there, so that's kind of strange.
I know, God forbid, because we all came on this planet without sex, so we should keep it out of our lives.
Yeah, no kidding. I would like to see where we would be right now with no sex. None of us would be here.
Right? There would be so much more war if we didn't get off.
Exactly. And also, you can schedule a date you can email Betty Page at bettypage@bunnyranch.com.
Oh, absolutely. Even call up the Bunny Ranch. You can schedule a date with me and everything. It's usually best to schedule something ahead of time because you should know that our dance cards get pretty full pretty fast.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's why it's like living at a party.
Well, it sounds like you've figured out a great way to live over there, and what can I say? I hope I see you sometime in the future, and it's been a pleasure talking to you today, Betty.
You too, Rocky. Thank you so much, and give some kisses to Ty for me.
Oh yeah, I sure will. I'll give him a bunch of kisses for you.
Cool. Just make sure you videotape them because I'm getting off to that.
All right, I'll videotape them and I'll send them over to you on your Twitter.
Sweet. I love it.
All right, cool. Well, we'll be right back on CSP.